Hello and welcome to Evessio tutorials. My name's Holly and today we're going to cover some of the ways you might want to manage your entries coming in. First off, to see your fully submitted entries, you can do so by going to Awards and Nominations. Here you will see all of the categories with nominations present. So that is to say, if you have a category that hasn't received any entries yet, you will not see it in this view until it has received at least one entry. So you can see a list of all of your nominations, and you can view a nomination simply by clicking on the nomination name. From here, you can see the nomination and all the answers to the form fields that the customer has given. If the customer contacts you, ask them for a change to be made, they can make those changes themselves up to the submissions editing deadline. But let's say they missed the deadline or for whatever reason you're happy to do it for them. You'll notice beside each question there is a little pencil which you can click, and you can then go in and update whichever field it is, saving the changes. You also do have a revision history, so you can go back and see revisions which have been made. You'll notice at the top 3 buttons. The first is to print the nomination, which is something you can do if you wish. You then have the ability to disable an entry or to validate an entry. Now, you don't in theory have to do either of these and able to go on to the judging. So for example, you don't have to validate an entry in order for it to be seen by a judge. If you disable an entry or validate an entry, not only is it a physical indicator to any of your colleagues who you're maybe working with in the back office of what's happening with each of the entries, but then also when you create a new judging round, you can filter out all the entries which have been disabled or bring into the round only those which have been validated. Now, as you can see here, if you mark a nomination as validated, there's just a little tick in this column to show that. So if I go into my next entry and I validate it, you can see now there's a tick beside it. And if you change your mind about a nomination and no longer wish to validate it, you can do so here by clearing the validation. The alternative is you can disable entries, and when you disable an entry, you can then filter those out of the judging round so they aren't even brought into the judging round. And to do that, you can either do it from within the entry and clicking disable. However, you can also here click edit status, select the entry you wish to disable and click disable selected. And you will see here there's an enable selected option. This is disabling as a non-destructive action. So if you made a mistake or if you change your mind, you can always enable that entry again. Then whenever we create a judging round, we can use the advanced options and filter the nominations by those which are validated or those which are enabled. And if you'd like more information on judging generally and creating judging rounds, please have a look at some of our other tutorials. Now, as I mentioned, the nominations which you see here under awards and nominations are completed nominations. In addition to seeing all of the information on the screen, you can also download that information into an Excel export. But what about entries that are underway? You can see entries which are currently in users' baskets by going to Revenue, Transactions, and Baskets. And here you'll see the customer's name, what they have in their basket, and if they have any previous transactions. You do have the option to exclude users with previous transactions to therefore only show those who have not yet submitted an entry. You can download all of the people with something in their basket into an Excel spreadsheet. You can also use our messaging feature to reach out to these people, offer any support, or maybe give them a nudge in order to get those entries in time. Please look out for future tutorials on this topic. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions or there's anything we can help with, please get in touch at support@evessio.com. Thank you.